Hello, I want to quickly show you how to derive the almighty formula or quadratic equation formula using the completing of the square method which we discussed in the previous video. Now we are going to follow all the steps involved in solving quadratic equation using completing of the square method. The first thing we do is to bring the general quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Now it is from this equation that we are going to transform. We are going to transform this equation to get the almighty formula or the quadratic equation formula. Now looking at this equation, the first step after comparing the equation given to us with this equation is to make sure that the coefficient of x squared is 1. Now x squared has a in this equation, this general equation, so we are going to divide through with a to make x squared stay alone. So we have ax squared over a plus bx over a plus c over a is equal to 0 over a. Now this a cancel this a. Now we have x squared plus bx plus a plus c over a is equal to 0 divided by a is 0. Now we have to move the constant to the right hand side, that is the c, the value with c, we have to move it to the right hand side, that is this. Now moving this to the right hand side, we are now going to have x squared plus bx over a is equal to, this is plus here, if it is coming to this side it becomes minus, so we have minus c over a. Now with this, we come to the value with b, divide it by 2 and square it. This is the b value, the coefficient of x, not the coefficient of x squared. This is x squared and this is x. The coefficient of x in this place, we divide it by 2 and then square it. So we are going to have the coefficient of x is b over a, so we divide it by 2, and so we are going to have anything on its own is that value divided by 2. So this 2 is also like 2 over 1, so that we have two fractions, two identical fractions. So this is b over a. If you want to change this division to multiplication, we invert this fraction, so it becomes times this one that is up will come down and the one that is down will go up. 1 over 2, which is b, that is b times 1 is b, over 2 times a is 2a. Now we square this value. We square this value. In the next step, we add this b squared to the left hand side and to the right hand side. So we are going to have x squared plus bx over a plus b over 2a, b over 2a squared is equal to minus c over a plus b over 2a squared. Now, because we got the b over 2a squared from this value, we are going to remove this one. We are going to remove it and replace the whole thing here with this b squared value. So we are going to have x squared plus b over 2a squared now is equal to, we have removed this This is not necessary because we got this b squared from it, so we remove it, so it becomes x squared plus this plus b over 2a squared is equal to minus c over a plus b over 2a everything squared. Now in the next step, we are going to factorize this. We are going to factorize the left hand side and put everything in one bracket, that is a common bracket, and square it. So we are going to have x plus b over 2a. We have x squared here and x squared here, so we bring the power out, put everything under one bracket. Now it is equal to this, which is minus b minus c over a plus this is b squared over this square, this power here, we put the power on b, put it on 2 and put it on a. So we are going to have b squared over 2 squared a squared. The square, we square everything inside the bracket. You shouldn't just say 2a squared. It will square everything inside the bracket. That means it will square the b, the 2 and the a. So we are going to have that x plus b over 2a everything squared is equal to minus c over a. B squared plus b squared is b squared over 2 squared is 4, a squared is a squared. Now with this, we find the common factor between a and 4a squared. It's going to be 4a squared. Now we have that bx plus b over 2a squared over 2a squared is equal to, this is equal to minus c over a. Then no, we are looking for the common factor. Let's put the common factor as 4a squared, because a can divide 4a squared and 4a squared can divide 4a squared. So the common factor is 4a squared, so that we have a common fraction for these two. We combine these two to one fraction. Now 4a squared divided by a, 4a squared divided by a, we are going to get 4a. Now the 4a times by minus c, we get minus 4ac minus 4ac. Now you come to this side, the common factor, which is 4a squared divided by 4a squared, for this side we get 1. 4a squared divided by 4a squared will give us 1. Then 1 times b squared will give us b squared plus b squared, now plus b squared. Now with this, the next thing we are going to do is to take the square root of both sides. To take it, it becomes x plus b over 2a squared, then square root of it is equal to minus 4ac plus b squared over 4a squared, then everything over root of everything. So we've taken the roots of both sides, so we simplify. This one the square root of a value that is squared will give you the same value. So we are going to have x plus b over 2a is now equal to square root of the up and square root of the down minus 4ac plus b square root of the up, then over square root of 4a squared, 4a squared. Now this is equal to root minus 4ac plus b squared, this is b squared minus plus b squared over root of 4 is 2 and the root of a squared is a. The root of a value that is squared is that value, so we have 2a. Let me clean it and write it here. X plus b over 2a is now equal to the root of this. We cannot find it, so we leave it. The root of 4a squared, we can still simplify that one. So we have for the up minus 4ac plus b squared, then everything for this denominator. Root of 4 is 2 and root of a squared is a. So we clear the root for the down, so we are going to have 2a. Now, having gotten this, the next thing is to make x the subject of the formula, that is to make x stand alone. Therefore, x is equal to, now root of any value is plus or minus of that value. Plus value of a number will give you the root of it, and negative value of it will still give you the same thing. So we are moving this to this side, so we are going to have, we place it at the back of it and not in front of the one containing the root. So we have, this is minus here, it is coming to this side, it becomes negative, minus b over 2a. Now for this one that has the root, it's going to be plus or minus, because the root of any value is plus or minus of that value. So we have minus 4ac plus b squared over 2a. Now with this, these are two fractions, so we can combine two of them by taking the LCM, the common factor, which is 2a here and 2a here. So the common factor is, we have that x is equal to minus b over, no common factor, let's take it, the common factor is 2a for both sides, so you put 2a, then combine everything. 2a divided by 2a, it will give us 1 times minus b will give us minus b, so we have minus b plus or minus root plus or minus not roots, plus or minus 2a divided by 2a for this side. Now it will give us 1, 2a for this side, 2a divided by 2a will give us 1, 1 times minus b will give us minus b, and then for this side, 2a divided by 2a will give us 1, and 1 times root minus 4ac plus b squared will give us that same value. 1 times any value will give you root minus 4ac plus b squared. Now with this, we just rearrange the values inside the roots so that we now have x, so that maybe the positive value will come first, followed by the negative value. Now we have x is equal to b plus or minus root, we write b first, b squared, because it has plus sign, then minus 4ac, now everything over 2a. This is our quadratic formula, and this is our quadratic formula. So we have used the completing of the square method to solve or to drive the almighty formula or the quadratic equation formula.